Is it more difficult to do your normal stuff and get prepared for a game when you've got so much interest in an FA Cup tie?
You want this every year, don't you, to be fair? Because if you get this every year, you know you've had the cup run that you need to make some money for the club. And it can spark a bit of an interest, reignite the fans. You know, the fans need paying back for the way they've supported us through thick and thin this season. We haven't been great this season. We've been decimated with injuries. The lads have done the best that they can. They've worked their socks off. Playing against some really big teams in this league. And our fans haven't wavered in the support. They were brilliant at Barnsley. They outsang the Barnsley fans. We were abject at best. And they clapped us off at the end. And that tells you something about the character of our fans. And this is a little reward for them that they got a Premiership team to pit our wits against, and hopefully we'll give a good account of ourselves and make them proud.
I think it's going to be 5,000 plus inside the stadium. Maybe half of those will be Leeds United supporters. You've experienced it more than anybody else, I think, the big occasions in this stadium. Where do you expect this to rank?
You're just taking it in stride, to be honest. I know that sounds daft, but you do. We've had some big games here, and we've always done well in them games. Maybe not won them all, but we've always done well in them. We've acquitted ourselves well, and you know, we'll prepare now to try and win the game. I keep saying it and I keep banging the drum, people just think about, Aki had plucky Accrington. They don't realise the work that goes on behind the scenes. So our game prep starts today now. You know, yesterday I was more concerned with the transfer market. So that's where all my focus was yesterday. Today now we'll prep for the game, and we've got two brilliant people. Jimmy Bell, who's been, you know, with us all along from when we started. He's been assistant manager and, you know, does a great job. But John Doolan, who's been with us the last 5 or 6 years, we've got to credit him on us winning League Two. And the effort they put in, the coaching that they transmit to the players on the pitch, people don't see that, and I see it on a daily basis. I see how hard they work. I see how they transmit the game plan, how the breakdown of the opposition, the areas that we think we can exploit, the areas we've got to guard against, how they take that into the coaching drills. So I see that firsthand, and I don't think they get the credit they deserve for that, and they should do. So that's the game prep starts now, and we'll try and come up with a plan between the three of us to get that executed.
I think the best comparison is 2010 when you played Fulham here in the FA Cup. How does this compare to that one?
Well, if you ask Roy Hodgson, the dressing rooms would be a lot better for the start. The pitch is better. You know, I think the pitch was actually done by the people who did the Leeds pitch. This club itself is just magnificent. So the whole infrastructure of the ground's a lot better, and we can't decry what's gone on in the past, because people were struggling to make ends meet then to keep this club afloat, and they should take enormous credit for that. You know, people like, well, definitely Eric Worley and Peter Marsden and Elias Khan and Dave O'Neill just kept this club from going bust. Rob Hayes worked his socks off as well, and you know, Vicky in the office, all doing what they could to keep us still going. And it was really a big struggle to get into the Football League, and we quickly could have disappeared and gone into admin, and we fought, and now, you know, it feels like a new era with the ground being upgraded, the facilities being upgraded, and Andy Oak has got to take a great deal of credit for that, and having the foresight to provide for the club for years to come after I'm gone and he's gone. And you know, we go back to the age-old thing: if you give a man a couple of fish and feed him for a couple of days or a week, or you teach him how to fish and feed him for life. Well, I think he's taught us how to fish.
I've heard it described potentially as the biggest game in the club's history. Do you subscribe to that?
No, not at all. I still think the biggest game in the club's history was going back all them years to when we first came and beating Farsley Celtic here. Because I think if that hadn't happened, we wouldn't be here now. it's probably one of the most glamorous games in the club's history. But we've had some crackers here. We've also had some big disappointments. And you know, if you think about it, a team from just up the road, and Guiseley from Leeds came here and knocked us out. So conversely, we put Huddersfield out, a team just up the road from Leeds. And I more think of it as a day to celebrate for the fans, because they've deserved it for sticking to us through thick and thin.
How do you go about trying to find weaknesses in a Premier League team?
Well, yeah, very hard. They're a very, very good team, we know that, very, very good going forward. We've got to take some solace for the fact. I know Cardiff are a league above us, but they scored 4 goals against Leeds. We know that. I know it's a different team now, but we know that Coley put them out a couple of years ago. So the institution that is Leeds can be beaten. And we've got to try and find a way to impose our strengths and some of the facets of our players that maybe they haven't got. Jesse
Marsh is quite a snappy dresser on the touchline. Are you thinking about your fashion?
I won't be trying to challenge him. I come up against Paul Tisdale, who's the ultimate fashionista. So if I can come up against him, I can go against anybody.
As far as the actual preparations are concerned, I think you're still maybe just about in double figures for the injuries. How's Michael Nottingham?
He won't be fit for Saturday. He'd give it a good go, and Michael's got a heart the size of Liverpool. And it was a secondary injury, so it's not the injury that he had. There was always a chance he was going to break down with something else because he hadn't been out for so long and he hadn't done a pre-season. But he was part of the team that got us through this round, so you know, a big thanks to Michael, and I'm sure the lads will try and rally round and replace him in the correct way.
Are we talking weeks?
I don't think it'll be too long. Although it's not a major injury.
And Aaron Pressley, you got him on as a substitute in the extra time period. Is it a waiting game to see how fit he is for Saturday?
Well, he's come through it unscathed, so we'll just have to monitor him now in training. Big shame that the skipper, Seamus, won't be available, because I think he's getting to the swan song of his career now, and he deserves to play in games like this. So that'll be a tinge of disappointment for me Saturday when the players go out, because I think the service he's given to the club, I think it would have been fitting if he could have led us out.
You do have a Leeds fan in your changing room, don't you? Harvey Rodgers has done more interviews in one morning than I think he's done in his career today. Will it be special for him? Will the players be giving him a bit of stick about it? Yeah,
a little bit, yeah, but I'm delighted for him to play against your boyhood team that you've supported. And Harvey's been great for us this season. You know, he didn't play as much as what he would have wanted last year. He's been shifted from pillar to post in various positions. Always gives us all. It was an outstanding start of the season, went through a little bit of a dip, and then he's come back really strong again. He's got this propensity to nick a goal here and there, and I love his Ravanelli celebration, and hopefully we can see that on Saturday.
He says he's got a new one.
Oh, well, I'm intrigued to see that, and I hope I do see it on Saturday.
Just as far as the exposure is concerned, being on the BBC, being on terrestrial TV, is that a bigger deal than being televised by other methods, just because of the size of the audience potentially? I
think so, yeah. And I go back to that Huddersfield game. We actually showed the lads the game before the Crawley game. Andy Gauk's unbelievable goal. And that day, Sky was in its infancy, I suppose, but that day, 10 times more people watched Accrington Huddersfield than Liverpool Man United. That was also live on Sky. So, and it'll still, terrestrial TV will still dwarf any other type of TV. So, and it goes well wide as well. So, yeah, it's a chance for our lads to showcase their talents.
Do you emphasise that to the players, or do you try and shield them from it in case it puts a bit of pressure on them?
I don't do neither, to be honest. Just get on with it. You know, we've got on with lots of things in our lives. We've got with lots of things at Accrington. We've had to deal with things. And this is just another thing that you've just got to take in your stride. We know there's going to be a big focus on us, so why not embrace it? Not so hard about inside to shield it. Well, where are you shielding them from? Go out and do your best. That's all we've ever asked from them. And in the main, in the time myself and Jimmy have been here, and John Doolan to a lesser extent, we can't grumble with the effort that the players will give us.